And we will know in about 2 seconds if that's in.
All right.
Awesome.
I look right at the camera, right?
Absolutely. So we are live. Thank you so much for joining us here today in the Women Developing Brilliance Facebook group. I am so excited to connect with actually someone who I can call a friend now. She was a coaching client and now is a friend, Sheila Tillich. She is a holistic energy healer. So welcome, Sheila. It's so good to have you with us.
Thank you, Casey. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for
Awesome.
having me.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us a little bit about how you got into kind of energy medicine and heart math and all of the cool things that you do in your business and help people really dissolve the blocks that keep them from being their true self.
Okay, great. Well, I actually got into energy healing for my own self-healing. And I've been doing self-healing for over 35 years on myself. And everything kind of evolved from my own situations and my own development as a spiritual being. And so I absolutely love helping other people get into the things that stop them from being happy, being able joyful, and all the different obstacles that make that happen. So my own journey is about my own self-healing, and it actually ended up being my soul's purpose. What I'm really here to do is to help other people self-heal.
That's amazing. And I know that with many of us, and especially for women that are over 45, we have some baggage, right? So, how did you know when it was the right time to pivot from your own trials and tribulations into helping and serving other people overcome obstacles?
Well, I knew it was time for me to take action. And for many, many years, I was stuck. I was stuck in my own issues in my tissues, meaning the things that kept me from actually living a very peaceful life. And so what happened was I knew as a mother, and also from the background that I came from, is that I needed to take care of me first. I need to put that oxygen mask on first for my children to even have, any hopes of being having a healthier life too. So it was my own home situation, and knowing that I had a lot of blockages that was keeping me there. It propelled me to actually take action and start changing myself little by little, and it finally happened. But it
That's
took many
amazing.
years to get there. So the self-healing has been ongoing.
For sure. Absolutely. If you were to put your finger on one tool or technique that you use that actually felt like the most significant in kind of making that propel happen, what would it be?
It was the self-healing. It was the issues in the tissues. It was about my self-esteem, and the baggage that I carried from my childhood, my unworthiness, and also feeling so stuck and not knowing how to get out. And basically, it was a lot of my codependency issues that I had from childhood that I carried on into my adult life. And it really propelled everything in my life, as far as it stopped me from having a joyful life and having a life that was beneficial for my children. So that's how I did it.
Absolutely. And I know that you use tools like heart math and IET or integrative energy. Were either of those, or was it just a combination? Like, I'm wondering for someone that's stuck right now listening and they're like, that sounds awesome, but I need a specific, I need a life raft. Where would you
Absolutely.
direct them?
Absolutely. That's why I like integrated energy therapy, is because it gets deep down into the cells, on a deeper level, subconscious level, that you don't even realize is stopping you from living your life, your full potential in your life. And IET is more heart centered, as far as the compassion that comes from healing. And also it's about going inside to the subconscious root, find out what the issues are in the first place, and healing from it. And heart math is wonderful, is because it helps you deal with stressful situations in your life, different traumas that are still deep down inside. All right, so it's just like what they do in mental health situations with EMDR, trauma that's stuck deep inside the hypothalamus. In IET, it is trauma that's stuck inside your tissues on a cellular level. All right. So it is very deep, and it has to do with many, many levels of your body, not just your physical body, but your emotional body. and also your mental body, and of course your spiritual body. So why I like to use heart math in addition to IET is heart math kind of helps you deal with those things that keep coming back, the triggers in your life, you
Yeah.
know. So we have many things that cause our issues, and a lot of times we think, okay, I'm done that, I'm good to go. But what happens is that there's so many layers of these issues, right,
It's incredible.
that actually triggers, all right, and you say, how can I, how can I deal with this? And then the stress perpetuates that, and the trauma comes up. So heart math is great for actually staying in the moment, staying in mindfulness presence, and also self-regulating your actual whole system of your body, but
Yeah.
how you deal with life situations, so that you have another tool. You realize what the issues are, but a lot of people don't know how to get unstuck. So IET and heart math together is a wonderful tool for helping people get unstuck with whatever it is in their life.
That's huge because so many of us are stuck in old patterns. And despite our best effort, sometimes it feels like Groundhog Day, like, wow, here's this thing again. And it's not that we're lazy or we don't have willpower. And I think that really understanding that we're not broke, that we really just need a different tool to kind of lift up those layers and shine the light and do a little like deep house cleaning, that
Exactly that.
it really makes a huge difference in propelling us forward. I'm really curious, Sheila, because I know that you are really high ranking in your field. You've been doing this for several decades. I'm wondering if you noticed a shift, or are you noticing a shift as we are, kind of making our way through 2020? Are people more interested in this work? Are they feeling that it's less woo-woo and metaphysical and really having more curiosity? Talk to me a little bit about the change in climate that you've noticed over the decades that you've been in this line of work.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I deal with more in the metaphysical world, meaning things that you can't see. However, the vibration, or you can feel, and everybody picks up on that. Say, I don't feel right. Something's not right. Well, everything is changing in humanity, and actually in our lives. Things aren't like it was 20, 30 years ago. All right. So also in the metaphysical realm, as far as woo woo, people are starting to realize that there's more out there of tools, alternative things that you can use to actually heal yourself. I come from mainstream healthcare, and I started doing my own self healing along with working in mainstream healthcare. And it got to the point where, they finally realized that we need to combine both of them together.
Yeah,
And that,
absolutely. I love it. It's so cool. And I'm so happy that this is opening, right? It's becoming less like it used to be such a narrow niche of kind of like hippies, old school hippies and granola, which I'm right there. I'm raising my hand for that. But I love the fact that it's actually getting more broad so more people can benefit for something that used to look like complementary and alternative. It's getting more mainstream. In fact, I'm just coming back from a trip, and one of the things we chose to pop on Netflix when my bestie and I were away was Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop Lab. It's a series on Netflix. Have you seen it?
no, I haven't. I haven't.
Oh, it's really fun. It's awesome. Every episode goes a little bit deeper into a topic that can spark spiritual or personal development. And there's everything from Wim Hof and cold therapy to medicinal mushrooms. Like it's awesome. It's really cool. And she's done it in such a way where she brings an expert on and she has scientific proof to back it, which I love. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on bringing in that technical or that scientific aspect to calm down some of those mental gremlins of like, wow, this seems like hogwash. How can it be possible?
Well, that's what I loved about what I do, because it is measurable data. First of all, my own personal story, with my own mainstream doctor following me and what I've done, but also heart math is measurable data. It is scientific, rock solid proof of how stress and trauma affects our own system, every system in our body. And then how by going inward, you can actually shift that consciousness level. A lot of people, when they hear consciousness, they're forgetting that it's like, consciously we see things happen all the time, but subconsciously there's a lot of deep stuff that's deep inside that you don't realize is affecting us in such a powerful way. So when I put the data together, as far as um, measurable data from heart math, all right, and then the data that I have from my own life cases, as far as people when they actually implement putting healing work into their life, their lives totally change because now they realize that there's more to it than just what meets the eye. It's like we're able to take that power back, to actually say, okay, that's not working for me. I got to change. But most of them don't know how to change. So as they start to change, all right, everything else changes from the medical to their emotional to their relationships. So that's measurable data. That is strong proof that something is happening here. It's all
Absolutely.
about going inside. I love. I was very much a skeptic, coming from a medical background, but when and I hid a lot of the stuff that I intuitively knew. But then when I started taking responsibility for myself and started changing inward and started having all these wonderful health results, and diagnoses that no longer apply to me at all, my doctors, they listen, and they say, what are you doing? And I told them, and they said, keep doing it because it's working.
Yeah, I love when we can use our own self as an experiment and then it's proof positive on the positive ripple effects that this work has. It would be awesome if you could share a story of one of your clients. What were they like before they entered your world, and what happened through the transition, and afterwards, what was the transformation for them?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. One I can think of is it's actually changed the whole family situation. There was a client that I had that actually it was the husband that was the actual client, and the husband and that was one of my patients at the hospital. What happened was that later they came to me on the side, and the wife started coming to me and started really taking off as far as her own stuff that needed to be changed. So their whole life has transformed as far as their family issues, how do they deal with situations, her own health situations. I mean, at first she was borderline diabetic, and she's not at all anymore. She's lost over 65, no, 70 pounds now.
Wow.
And her whole life, as far as taking care of herself, I mean, making herself a priority, is because she lost who she was. That was what it was all about. And her husband, I mean, he's just him too, with his whole situation, and realizing, oh my goodness, if we wouldn't have met you, our life would have been so much different. And thank you for giving us these tools to use in our life, how they can change, every situation in their lives. So I can go on and on about them, but
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
a whole
So
bunch more.
what tool did you use specifically for this couple that found like a dramatic shift in release, is what it sounds like, a release
IET,
in.
IET, integrated energy therapy. Yeah. And then in addition to that, they both learned heart math, and they were like in a race who was going to do it first. It was so cute how they did it. Originally, the husband was going to do it, and the wife beat him to it. She says, no, I'm doing it first because I need it more.
Oh, that's adorable. I love it. This work is so powerful individually, but I can't even imagine what a collaboration like a marriage, a partnership, or even a business relationship, if you both enter this with that kind of mindset, how transformational it can be on how you even serve your clients. It's pretty dynamic.
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm going to make sure that we don't have any comments or questions from our people in the group. So let me just pop on my cell and see if anyone has questions or comments for Sheila. Feel free to ask away because we're live. That's the fun of it. Jan Erickson is giving a heart, and same with Abby first. So a thumbs up. So thanks so much for joining in. It's really fun. That's the beauty of using technology. But if you have any questions about Sheila's solopreneur journey, IET, heart math, or how she's sustained being a holistic energy healer for not a couple of years, but decades, because that's quite amazing to have the sustainability, especially in today's marketplace and in a crowded marketplace, to continue to rise above. That's one of the reasons why you're a Spotlight member. So I'm so thrilled that you're here with us. And so if you could share a tidbit of advice for our business listeners, what do you think it would be? Like, what do you think has been something that's helped you along the way?
Mm. Standing in my magnificence, working through my fear, right? And if nothing changes, nothing changes, and I use that profoundly every single day. And it's about the choices that I make to think the positive, because we automatically would go into the negative saying, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I can't do this. And it's like nothing changes if nothing changes. It's like you have to have the faith as far as who you really are. Go within. And I always say, go within, the answers are already there. And we're very wise women. We have the answers inside us, but a lot of us stay stuck. And if you stay stuck, nothing's going to change.
Absolutely. And so if someone's stuck and they just can't get out of their own way and they keep repeating their story, right? I know that some people have certain phrases that they even use, and they use them over and over again unknowingly, but it's also cementing a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm stuck, I'm done, I'm spent. What kind of advice do you have for them to start loosening up that old mental pattern?
Well, first of all, I try to explain to them about the vibration of their body and the message that they're giving out. First of all, they're telling their body that they can't do it by saying the negative phrases. So I always say, shift, shift your thoughts. The things that you're thinking actually comes out consciously out into the environment. And we can do so much more help for ourselves is when we think about our thoughts. Is it hindering me or is it helping me? Why am I beating myself up? Let me change the phrases. And a lot of people, go with, affirmations, which affirmations are absolutely wonderful. However, it's our thoughts, what we think. And it's in our thoughts that actually propels everything to happen in our life. So if you think of positive thoughts, you get positive action. If you think of negative stuff, woe is me, you go right into that cycle. So always try to think positively. And when you start to, you all of a sudden you catch yourself saying negative stuff. Say shift, because you're actually, I say shit on yourself. Really, what it
Yeah, yeah,
is that you're beating
absolutely.
yourself up, right? So people, when they hear me say that, is then they realize, oh, I'm shit on myself. Yeah, you are. You are, and it's about the energy that you put out there. You are an energy field. You're in physical, emotional, mental, spiritual level, and it affects your whole persona with people that you meet. That's why I love heart math, is because it shows how our emotions, our conscious emotions, affect our environment around us, and how we can come from our heart center, think loving thoughts, come from compassion. That's what it's about.
It makes a huge difference. And I liked that you made the distinction between affirmations and really sinking in and having the faith and knowing, because there is a tremendous shift between hoping and knowing. And when we get into that knowing energy, so much opens up on the physical and the practical level. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. And another thing I'd like to say too is, like, a lot of people, they keep saying I could put big intentions out there. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But the thing is that they're hoping and praying instead of demanding and commanding themselves, their innate ability, their smart body of who they really are. They have the ability to shift and that thoughts and that behaviors and that situation. It's just,
Absolutely. And even that, yeah, that distinction, I'm so excited about that. I don't mean to interrupt you, but that distinction is so powerful, because the hoping and the praying is very external, and it's almost kind of looking outside of our own self to be saved. But the other, commanding and demanding, it's very empowering. Number one, it's very internal focused. It's also relying on that universal or source energy. So it's extremely powerful. But I want you to elaborate a little bit on smart body, because I think that that's a new term for many people.
well, smart body is more like the innate. And innate means things that on a cellular level and your soul level, okay, who you really are as a person, because I am a metaphysical minister, but also try to make the connection between the physical body and the spiritual body, who you really are as a person, and that's what it's about, is like, what am I here for? What's my purpose? And that's why people feel so stuck, is that they feel that their life doesn't mean anything. So let's go back to the soul part. What am I here for? And inside, you have the ability to connect with your soul, which is your innate, meaning your connection to who you really are. And the smart body is just a way that your body knows. It's just like kinesiology and muscle testing.
Mhm.
You know, the body knows, the subconscious knows when they do testing on muscle relaxation and testing. So the body knows. That's the innate. That's the smart body.
I love it. That's amazing. I think just that tip alone has the power to transform and to really rely on your inner wisdom and not look without, but know that, like you said, all of those answers are within, and trust that as a layer that's so close to you. It is you. It's not far away.
Absolutely, absolutely. The inner wisdom is so important. And you know, younger girls, younger people, you know, when I say I help empower wise women, they said, "Well, I'm not wise, I'm not old, I'm not mature," and I try to bring them back to, yes, you are. You're very wise. Your soul is wise. You are wise as a person. It's just going inside, tapping in.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that you have a younger generation that's
Oh,
interested and has a spark to know that we are beyond our physical body, and how different we can wander through the world when we ask ourselves, what's my soul purpose?
absolutely, absolutely. You got it.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Sheila. I love it. What do you have new and exciting coming up on the docket that we can support?
Oh my goodness, there's so much going on besides my classes. And I do quantum healing energy, and I'm having a wonderful doctor from Ottawa who is in regular medicine and also holistic medicine. And I'm going to be hosting him here in Rochester, the things that he does there. So I'm very excited about that. I
Ooh,
have,
awesome. Drop that link on this thread so anybody local can attend. I would love to join in. That sounds amazing.
absolutely. I can also can send the flyers. I can send the flyers out because there's great stuff going on there. I have women's retreats coming up. I have master classes coming up. I have classes all the time. So I have a lot of stuff going on.
Awesome. And how can people learn about you?
Okay. They can go to SheilaTillich.com, or on Facebook also. They can go to Sheila B Healing. That's a Facebook page. So those two are the two main places that they can, or just send me an email, Sheila at SheilaTillich.com. So that's SheilaTillich.com.
Easy enough. You are a woman that can be found and someone that should be found because you are so connected. And I think you can really bring wisdom and compassion and also some self understanding to the table. And we can all use that. So I think many of us are thirsty for that. And I know that you'll be a deep watering well for us. So if you were going to leave us with some bright light wisdom, what would it be?
Shine brightly who you are.
Love it. Love it. I can hear the
Shine,
soundtrack, right? Shine bright. Like, I
shine
love it.
magnificently, dear one. Shine.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, it's a pleasure as always. I'm lucky enough to be able to see you in person and to stay connected. And it's just great that you are our spotlight member for March in the Women Developing Brilliance Facebook group. So, Sheila, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Casey, for having me. Bye bye, everybody.
Absolutely. Until next time, breathe joy.